a percentage of people, and that's quite a large percentage, who never can see the Milky Way.
Yeah.
And that idea of, or that notion of never being able to experience the darkness, on one hand, you know, like has really bodily influences in terms of, this kind of idea that you have to be productive all the way, that leads to exhaustion, and so on, or like problems with sleeping, then like not being able to actually have a rhythm, and there's implication that you should be active almost, or like available 24/7, because you can never really switch off. It's always possible to go on, but then also this other idea, the fact that you don't see, you don't have a visual connection with the universe, you start to feel detached from it. So it's also harder to connect with other forms of being, or also your role in the universe, and then you kind of start to implode, and not be able to recognize, you know, your position or your role in a larger complex system, that you're only a tiny part. A zeitgeist kind of thing, that, you know, we are in this neoliberal capitalist era where we think we know everything, we can prove everything, it's all about efficiency, it's all about here and now, and the fact that there are so many processes that we are not able to control, that, you know, life as a phenomenon is incredible. We don't really ask these questions. It's not part of our relationship with the world. And the hypothesis that we then try to explore in that research was also, to what extent is it perhaps driven by the fact that we are never even in a visual contact with it. We're never reminded that, you know, there's something larger, and that you, I don't know, like you can be at that you suddenly you go out and you see the night sky, and you feel so small. To feel like it's sort of semi-day. You know, like you don't experience darkness.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting, and actually, it's always interesting, these things with like object for sleep, because of course
all of the other beings that are dependent on light and that very same circle, you know, is it about your connection with yourself and that cycle, or is it also, perhaps, because maybe it's, you know, like not exclusive, your connection with the other beings that are part of the same cycle?
Yeah, of course. I mean, for sure, I have been more focused on human, for sure. But I think at the moment that we also take in consideration the pollution of blue light or industrial light, there is also the consideration to take in consideration the biorhythm from non-human perspective as well. But I won't say that I will.
I don't know, like I often kind of tend to forget the stuff that, I don't know, I have plants at home, like here, and you know, then they also receive artificial light. And sometimes, you know, if I'm up at night, I don't think about the fact that I distort their rhythm too, you know. And I always tend to think about myself as a utility and not as something that actually can bring plants into a complete confusion of what the hell is going on. In terms of, you know, this particular perspective of care ecologies, I think that a lot of the notions that we discuss and discover, they're healthcare related, but also in terms of, you know, like how healthcare works as an institution, and who cares for whom, and what does it mean to care. So I think maybe that's also interesting for you to consider, for that, if you're considering that it's there's always more to it than we tend to think, and I think you can if your goal is also to create more awareness. I think this question,
I mean, of
who
course,
is caring
for example,
for
if you
what,
take the example
and then
of Philips,
how in what way,
or
and
the
what
app
role
that will
also
help you
the
to sleep,
technology plays in it,
there is,
that can be quite
and for me that's a
interesting
question also as my
approach
practice,
to
that of course
to take that can
want,
also
as
like
designer, bring a certain
I don't know,
solution,
like
of
break
course,
maybe
that there
some of
will
our assumptions.
It depends what your motivation
yeah, but there
is.
is always, of
Yeah.
course, a used object, and we don't want. I mean, in my case, between the fact that obsolete things,
Yeah.
and that in this case, bring the solution is about the use,
Like,
and at the same time,
society
like
will impose on you the fact to sleep
that
at
will
certain
be
time,
always
going to
one more
bed and
gadget,
wake
let's
up.
say, that will be added, and that
and
at the same time
you
sleep is also a right,
to
and the
sleep,
fact
to-
like
yeah,
that will help you
use
to
the power of
sleep, let's
imagination as
say,
a way of
that will
to
bring
free,
you more efficiency,
Mhm.
and at the same time there is always different
to free the mind of
way to
something
approach
that
that
is simple.
also sleep.
Yeah.
is and it's what I
right.
try to include
with
also in this society, that you will
Imagination
always
with the
ask
sky
you more
and
to
so
be
on.
more efficient, more
Yeah.
efficient, and then at the same time,
imagining as a
we also
as
need
a
to
almost a
to
right
sleep
that
somehow in
something
the meantime, and that's also
like,
the
a
regeneration of the
productive
muscle,
thing
not just
comes from
imagining